morning, guys. It is December 9th. It's the weekend after rifle season has ended. And we're in here carrying our bow today. And we're going to try to get a deer with a bow. So what we're doing this morning is I'm coming out here and scouting the area. We have a lot of snow cover. Looking for fresh sign. Looking for a place to set up this afternoon. Kind of still hunting with a bow. This area that I'm in is a lot of beach webs. It's not going to work for bow hunting at all. I will not have a shot unless it walks in the middle of this trail. So what we're doing is we're circling back into an area where I have a lot better shots. And that's going to work out good because the wind is blowing in a direction that I can't just hunt to that area. I'm going to have to make a big circle. So I'm going up here, going to connect onto another Class 6 road, cut all the way down, and then work my way back through. So, as you can see, we're not wearing what most people would consider traditional bow hunting clothes. We're just wearing our regular hunting stuff. We've got our Johnson coat on and a pair of wool pants, and I don't think you need anything more than that to shoot a deer, even at like 20 yards. And tonight we'll sit in this stuff up here and find a good pinch point and just sit it and see what happens. So at this point, I'm going to get off this camera, make my way up to the top of this hill, and then cut down that road. So we'll get back with you when we start finding some sign. Alright, it's taken us a while, but I've been tracking this track through the icy stuff. It didn't look too impressive until I got in the softer snow. I found the jumbo buck, and he's heading this way to bed. He came back out of here yesterday. Makes sense. It's kind of going with the pattern that I've been picking up. See his tracks. He's heading that way into that dark stuff. There's a brook over there, and there's a hiking trail back in there somewhere. He's bedding somewhere in this stuff. He's coming back through here at night. There's a track from the other day in there heading that way. Another one coming from this way, so he's using this path. I tracked him through here once or twice already in the morning. In the afternoon, he works back this way. He could be crossing the brook and getting up into some thick stuff on the other side. Now that's all posted. You can't get over there, and that may be what he's doing. Would make sense. We're going to just follow this a little bit more, where I can kind of see, kind of glass out there and see if I can see him. He may be laying right out here in the open, but I don't want to pressure him because we're hunting with a bow. I don't want to try to sneak up on him and shoot him with a bow. I think what we might do is we'll get over here, we'll take a peek, and then we'll back out. We'll come back in here this evening and make a stand someplace in this area. Got a good way I can get in, so I don't spook him. I can come in halfway up the hiking trail and then cut in and stay right out of this area, depending on which way I see where his track's going. We have to make a plan. Gotta think ahead on this one because he's a smart buck. He's not just gonna walk into a trap if he thinks we're sitting there waiting. So I can get away with walking that trail pretty easy because a lot of people like it, and that's not gonna bother him. So let's go and figure out where he's hanging out. Alright, we followed the tracks. They were from before light this morning. Never ran into the deer, although the tracks are really fresh. They headed out across this hemlock section on the backside of this cut. They crossed a brook and they went into a really thick area up behind a couple of houses. It's posted back there. The deer bedded, but all the tracks are showing that those deer are coming back across almost in the same spot it looks like in the evening. So, seeing as we're not hunting with a real hunting weapon, we're hunting with a bow, we're going to have to set up. So, kind of doing this morning, what we're doing this morning is we're doing this kind of half-assed still hunt scout with a bow, but it's given me an idea of where to set up for the evening, because the only real good way to get one with a bow in the woods like this is to set up and pick some shooting spots in a more likely spot. I can still hunt all I want with this, but in any place I'm going to run into a deer in here, it's going to be thick enough that I'm not going to get a shot, in theory. So, right now, we know that there's a really big buck and what looks like either another buck and a small doe, or a big doe and a small fawn, all over there. So right now we're just going to kind of move through this cut, and there's another cut over here I want to look at for sign and see what there is. Who knows, we may run into something feeding or something. It's only 9:30 right now, so we've got time. We're going to meet back at the truck at about 11, 12 o'clock. Make lunch, probably move the truck from where it is to a different landing so we can get into this and have the wind in our favor while we do it. So, right now, we're going to make a big circle through here, check sign, see what we got for tracks, and then work our way slowly back towards the truck itself. So, let's go and see what we can find. Alright. I've been warning for a while that the fact that our deer population has gotten as high as it has was going to affect any moose that we have here in the west central part of the state. And everybody wants to blame everything on ticks. Now, the winter tick has its issues. It does. But they're not that bad. They haven't been for quite a while. I haven't seen a lot of moose dying of the tick problem like everybody thinks. And it's like a tick, because everybody hates them, is the easy scapegoat for the moose dying off. You also get the crazies who want to talk about, global warming and that kind of crap. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that we haven't had a hunting season here in the west central for a couple of years now, and we're not taking care of the population. Yet we want the deer hunters to be happy, so the deer population has risen. And there's a lot of guys out there who will argue with that, but I'm telling you, I spend more time in the woods than just about anybody, and I can tell you there's plenty of both. But what we have here, I have a cow right here. She's dying. She can't get up. She's breathing pretty shallow. She's not going to make it. She was just moaning a little bit ago. I saw her getting up and falling over when I was back there. I actually thought it was a deer coming through the woods. Moved over here, and she's trying to get up and moaning, and she can't now. That's brainworm. That is not ticks, okay? It's December. The winter ticks haven't even got on her. You can see on her rear end, you can see up and down her legs, there's no ticks on her. She's about as clean as you're going to get. That's a healthy cow. She's breathing. Well, healthy as in no ticks. But unfortunately, brainworm has gotten to her. Now you can see where she's been laying here running in place as she's laying down. She's been crapping as she's laying here, thinking she's running, and she's not. I'm not sure if that's a calf. I would say that was probably, could be this year's calf, but it's pretty big. But you look through here, there's tracks everywhere. There's beds everywhere. It goes all the way down this tote road, and it goes all the way up. This moose has been in here for a day or two. Beds. beds, all the way up through here, back and forth, all over. Now there was another moose just in here with her, probably her mother. That's a big moose there. You see there was one just in here. There was one in here when I just came up, and I thought it left. But yeah, another bed up here. More beds, more beds. We'll walk up here and see if there's another moose up in here with her. I thought I heard a moose go off this way. More beds. Beds everywhere. She's been all through here. More beds. This isn't normal. Yeah, one left. One went right through here and headed up. So there's another moose with her. And now that moose is taken off, and this one's dying. So I'm wondering if it's a cow and a calf. The one that left is about a little bit bigger than that one down there. So this is just what happens with brainworm, is they get in an area they can't get up. They go around in circles and they die. So when I'm smelling in here, it almost smells like there was a bull in here, but not very big tracks. I don't know, it could have been a small bull, but that's all conjecture anyways. I didn't see the other moose. I saw it leaving. I saw its legs, and I heard it head out that way. I didn't know that this one was laying here dying. So contacted the conservation officer, just waiting for him to get back to me, and I'm just going to leave her. I mean, there's nothing I can do. We can't put them down as civilians. Has to be a CO or a police officer. But she'll probably, by the time the CO would get here, this moose is probably going to be dead. So she's dying now. It's sad, but that is what I've found in this area is killing more more moose than the winter tick, okay? It's the brainworm. They can't really they have a hard time. They coexist with deer to a point, but when the deer population is as high as it is in this area, and you have some moose in it, the moose are going to pay the price. And the deer just do what deer do. So, unfortunately, as many people want to yell and scream about the winter tick, that's the brainworm, alright? That's a terrible way to go. Either way. So, there we go. That's my day. Cow moose is dying. Yep. That's great. Alright. Alright, we've been tracking him. It's a big one. It's a good buck. Good buck. Good track. Phil's down here in a crossing. Right at the bottom of this hill. Right where this deer should come out. Let's hope that this plan works. Because I don't care who gets him. This is a friggin' giant, and I'd like to get one of us to get him. So, let's hope this is the buck I think it is, and it's heading right to Phil, and it's walking, and he can hit it. So, here we go.